And welcome back to Gary Russen program, Saturday Extra on GJRB Online on Spreaker across America. And we are broadcasting our Saturday program. And we've got some really good stuff to talk about this afternoon, so I hope you'll stay with me throughout the afternoon for our program. The Gary Russen program, Saturday Extra on GJRB Online. And wherever you're listening across America, thank you for tuning in, and I hope you're enjoying the show. Got a lot of really good stuff coming up this next half hour, and you want your comments in there, you can join me then, and we'll do 50 minutes of nonstop talk and try to see if I can get a hold of my guest. I'm hoping that maybe Ben will be able to join us today. I'm not sure. Maybe he will, but not guaranteing it. Let's just see what happens. But I'm glad you can join me today anyway. And do that. New message from... Okay, that's coming from the MeWe. That's a football conversation page. That's where that's coming from now. I don't know whether or not they're listening to me or not, but just check that out. Anyway, this next half hour, you got your comments are welcome. And you could be on the show if you want to get on the act. It's the Gary Russen program, Saturday Extra here on GJRB Online. And let's see, I don't know what this is. The commentary on here, written in such small letters. Don't know exactly what this is about. I disappear. What are you babbling about? Craft, cut, United haters. Most of your clubs are legend. Oh, this is just... Why did I even hook up to this football thing? Because they are very nasty in their conversations. It's like, come on now. Anyway, glad you could be with me today. We're going to do some birthdays coming up, so I thought we'll just... I don't know how I even shut that off. Because the messages are getting annoying. That noise is getting annoying. I don't know what that's about, but I might disband from that chat room if they, anyway. All right, well, let's see what we can do. Just ignore that. I don't know where they're coming from. I might just click out of MeWe, because for now, I pretty much have what I need from them. And I will post later. But we're talking about this Arkansas woman. Her name is Deborah Stevens, 47-year-old newspaper delivering newspapers. She perished in drowning on August 23rd when her SUV became swept away by swift waters due to flash flooding. Stevens called 911 for help, hoping that she would be rescued from the rising waters. Instead, the call was answered by a dispatcher scolding her for driving into the water, at one point telling the woman to shut up. Now, this is the way dispatchers are treating people? According to a statement by the Fort Police Department, dispatcher identified Donna Renault by the local media was working her shift at 911 dispatcher and the dispatcher trainer when she answered that call early Saturday morning. Stevens pleaded with Renault on the phone. You could hear dismissing the drowning woman's concerns in an audio recording. And the transcriptions here, she goes, please help me, I don't want to die. Renault says, you're not going to die. Hold on a minute. Then, okay. I return. I'm scared. I'm sorry. Renault, I understand you're scared, but there's nothing I can do in the chair, so you're going to have to hold on, and I'm going to send somebody. Okay. All right. Okay, should have sent somebody. Officials and firefighters have been inundated with 911 calls from other citizens also stranded in floodwaters. Also, exasperating the response and rescue efforts were the fact that Miss Stevens was having trouble describing her exact location, and flooding limited the ability to first responders to reach her. In a statement from the department stating that when the responders were fully able to pinpoint the location for Miss Stevens, the vehicle, and the swift rising of the water made immediate rescue impossible. And while this was happening, Renault continues to tell Stevens she is not going to die. Let's see, that's a lie. She wasn't doing her job calming this woman down. I don't know. This happened, according to the video I was looking at for this, it happened in the dark because, remember, she was up early delivering newspapers. So if you really look at it that way, it would be that she couldn't pinpoint her location because she had dark outside, had no idea where she was located. This is, I don't know, I think this call should have been handled just a little bit better. In my personal opinion, I think that there's something wrong here. They could have done something. I mean, they could have, looked for her. They could have sent a rescue team out, and searched. That would have been nice. Your comments are welcome on this, and you're welcome to be part of the show. The Gary Russen Program Saturday Extra on GJRB Online. And it's all simple. All you got to do is get in on it by calling there. I'm on Skype, Gary.Russen, and get on his Skype that way. Also, you can get on the hold of me on Facebook by getting in my Facebook page and hitting that call button, or here on Spreaker, and of course on Twitter. I'm the Radio Maniac on Twitter. And all you have to do is get in there and you'll see the Gary Russen Program Saturday Extra with today's date, 8/31/19. And it'll take you, it opens up into a widget. There's a little comic book balloon there. Just hit that. Takes you right into our chat room. You can say hi and be part of the show. And you can also call, and like I said, on my page here where I have the update my Skype there. Gary.Russen on Skype. You can call me on that, and I'm available with the green light so you can see it, and it'll give you a chance to call in on the program and leave your responses to that, because somehow I have a problem with this. I think it was handled incorrectly, and that woman was panicking and scared. It might not have even been her fault that her SUV was inundated with water. She could have driven where she wasn't supposed to. I mean, there are two sides to this story, but the problem I have was with the attitude of the rescuers. The problem I have is the attitude with this dispatcher, Renault, who should have done a little bit more into making sure that this woman was, it helped her, pinpoint her location. There were people also on the balconies of this apartment complex where they could see where she was. Could have also helped her to be rescued. So I think that the blood is on the hands of both her, that dispatcher, Renault, and the people who were on the balconies of this apartment building could have done something as well. So I'm sorry. I refuse to blame this woman for dying. She got into some trouble, and no one was helping her, which I think is wrong. Somebody should have done something. I'm sorry. There's something wrong with that picture. Seriously. I mean, you just can't do that. That's a sad pity. She lost her life. I was just wondering if I'm going to be following that story, because I think that there's going to be an investigation leading into that story. There's something wrong somewhere. That woman should have been rescued. She should have not had to have died. Oh, let's see what we got here. I'm doing some more stories. Interesting stories you want to get in on it, you can be part of it. We're welcome to be on the show, the Gary Russen Program Saturday Extra. This is our Saturday show where we talk about all kinds of things in the news, and maybe perhaps a guest or two might join the program. And I'm hoping that maybe Ben Oceman is out there, but I doubt it. As I said earlier at the beginning of the show, football season is starting. Pretty much the college football season starting. And I like to watch my Hawkeyes. I am a Hawkeye fan. I like the Iowa football team. I like to watch the football team. And a lot of times they're on Saturday at 11 o'clock. Usually their main time they start is 11 o'clock on Saturdays. And a fabulous radio station here, KROS AM 1340 and FM 105.9, which I consider my partner radio station. I'm connected with them. I feel that they are one of the best stations in town. They were voted already the favorites in the Clinton Herald. And KROS is a great radio station in this town, and they are local. They believe in giving you the local news for Clinton County, for the county surrounding it. This station serves the general public of Clinton, Iowa very well, and I talk them up. If you live in the community of Clinton and you want to know what's going on, I mean, KROS AM 1340 and FM 105.9 is the station, I believe, for a lot of the great news and information that you need. They are fabulous. They're on top of their game, and I give them a lot of credit for their work because they are a fabulous local radio station. So I'm going to pump them, and if people don't like it, too bad. KROS is a station that serves the community very well, and I compliment them on it. Their programming and their sports. Last night I was listening to the football game, Clinton High, and they cover great local sports, high school football, and it's a great radio station. So if you're living in the community of Clinton, FM 105.9, AM 1340, KROS is the radio station to listen to for news, information, and great sports on 1340 and FM 105.9. And tonight they're going to have the Iowa Hawkeyes game on at 6 o'clock, and I'm going to check and see if I get that FS1 so that I can watch the game, but I carry it their signal over my 9-foot clear channel, my 9-foot FM local, and on 107.9. See, I have various stations that I have on this little 9-foot signal, which is just a little transmitter hooked up to it's got a little plug on the end of it. It plugs into a output jack, of a stereo or anything with a headphone jack. And you can listen to it through the radio. And I plug it into the headphone jack of the computer, and I can broadcast all my programming over my 9-foot closed circuit FM signal, like this program right now, which I'm listening to through my headphones on, here and broadcasting on my 9-foot signal, Talk FM 10, and I have various frequencies, and they're all 88.9, 106.7, 107.1, 107.5, and 107.9, which are all empty frequencies in this area. So I use all of them, and I have various stations on each one of them, and one of them is my talk station on the other side of the dial, 107.9. Talk FM 108, and it is a Hawkeye station with KROS, and I just carry the game on there. But I love my football, and I'm going to be not always on the air on Saturdays if the Iowa Hawkeyes are on, because I want to watch the game. But if I can't get the game for any reason, or like I said earlier, bye weeks, I will be on the air. So, just let you know about that. And of course, it depends too, and I don't know about the Cubs. Yesterday, they had a good game yesterday. They were actually doing very well, their game yesterday. They were awesome yesterday. So I don't know anybody followed the Cubs. They had a good game yesterday. It wasn't bad at all, actually. They did a good job. Their pitcher stayed in that game. Pitched six innings, something like that. So I mean, they were really good yesterday. We'll do a little bit of sports a little later on here. They're playing right now. I'll take a look at that scores later on here when we do our sports page. I'll do a sports page update and let you know exactly what's going on with the Cubs. We'll do that here coming up. But I'm going to now go into the weather on the fives because it's time for that. We're going to keep following that hurricane down south. So we're going to do that and do our weather on the fives. Following Hurricane Dorian down in Florida, I was listening to a Florida radio station last night, and they were saying that that the storm was moving northeast. They felt they wasn't going to get the exact impact that they said it was originally going to be yesterday. So I don't know what's going on with that. So we're going to go to Weather Nation next hour, and we'll do a update on that, because I can guarantee I probably won't hear from Ben at all. So we will do a weather update coming up next hour, unless otherwise I get a call or something. But let's see, other bookmarks. I think that's where I go to get my weather. Sometimes I need to set this up the day before, and if I don't set it up the day before, then I'm lost. Bumping around getting weather here. Let's see. Gonna go down. Let me see if I can get it. I'm gonna go to the computer and get it, because I think I'd be quicker to get the weather that way. National Weather Service. Let's see. I want to go down there because I could find it quicker. Let's see. Here we go. National Weather Service. Let's take a look and see what we got here. Hurricane Dorian now remains extremely dangerous. It's a Category 4 hurricane. It's going to continue to westward through the northwestern Bahamas this weekend. So it's headed westward to the Bahamas. And then it's forecast to turn northward as it's closely approaching in the east coast of Florida earlier this week. Now, this is an old update. I don't know why they just don't change that. Because now they're saying that this storm is headed to the Carolina coast, which I'll be following that here next hour again, like I said. Weather on the fives, 25 and 45 minutes past the hour on all music shows, 25 and 55 on all talk shows, or any time in the hour that ends in 5, 5:15, 25, 35, 45, or 55 minutes past the hour on GJRB Online. It's the Gary Russen Program Saturday Extra. I hope you're enjoying the program wherever you're listening to across America. GJRB Online Network. And thank you for tuning in to the GJRB Online Network. Gary J. Russen with you. This is the Gary Russen Program Saturday Extra. And I'll be right back with more news and more talk and more fun on the Gary Russen Program Saturday Extra after we take this break on the GJRB Online Network. You hear great jazz on GJRB with the best of jazz, up-and-coming jazz, and smooth afternoon. If you can't get enough of jazz and you live in the Quad Cities area, tune in to KALA, St. Ambrose University in Davenport, Iowa, at 88.5 on the FM dial. Along with some of that great smooth jazz, you'll hear a lot of great jazz programming. And programming in other great music formats. Like blues, urban, including rap. Also classic R&B and Motown with David Baker on Rewind, Friday nights at 6 p.m. Central. In addition, you get programming in Spanish and some great gospel programming too. For more information on that great programming you'll hear, check out their schedule at www.sau.edu/KALA. Even if you don't live in the Quad Cities area, you can enjoy KALA anywhere in the world with their internet stream. Connect with KALA, listen, and enjoy. Recently, the owner of Facebook had to face Congress over personal information on Facebook users. In addition, users were saying that their postings were being deleted. Getting sick and tired of your censorship and your data being used without your permission? Do something about it now. Come to MeWe, the internet social site that values your freedom. No more deleted postings. Make a step to freedom. Sign up today. It's easy. Go to www.mewe.com. That's MEWE. MeWe, the internet's free speech social site. End times are upon us, and we need to know what's happening. Knowing the truth is key to survival. There are lots of news events going on in the world that have certain significance to end-time happenings. Listen, as men and women gather to discuss the news and how it lines up with Bible prophecy on the last 7 days. Uploaded as a podcast Wednesdays and run live every third Friday at 12 o'clock noon Central on GJRB. From America's heartland, this is GJRB, Clinton, Iowa. And now, let's scroll through social media. And welcome back to the second hour of the Gary Russen program, Saturday Extra on GJRB Online here on Spreaker. It is 4 o'clock Central Daylight Time, 5 o'clock Eastern Time, and it is 2 o'clock Pacific on GJRB Online. And we got another hour of great talk and fun here on the Gary Russen program, Saturday Extra, here on GJRB Online, here on Spreaker. And I got a posting this week from a fabulous radio station out of Cleveland, Ohio, called WKHR. It's a public radio station. They play big band music, kind of 40s music, kind of like it. This guy posted, his name is Gary Thomas. Hijacking someone else's post to promote your own site is not cool. Well, first of all, I have a problem with what you said because I don't see where I did so wrong. First of all, I promoted another radio station on top of that. I don't understand why you have a problem with me promoting this. I really don't. I just have a problem with this guy. And I'm going to say something later on in about this, because if you have a problem with this, too bad, because I didn't promote it the whole time. So I mean, if you have a problem with this, sir, confront me with it, but don't, really. So I have a few things to say to him about this. I really don't think there was anything wrong with what I did, and if you don't like it, too bad. I mean, I really don't. I don't see what I did so wrong in that. Meanwhile, I'm going to continue with our scroll through social media. That means you go through Facebook. I go through Twitter. I go through all the social sites, including MeWe, and I find stories and interest and talk about it on the air. I do this because sometimes I just don't get guests, and the guests that I really don't know. I don't know whether or not he even listens to this broadcast. I don't know whether or not he has a problem, I mean, I know he has to work on Saturdays. And he asked me to do, well, he didn't ask me to do this show on Saturday. I chose to do it on Saturday. I chose to do this as a Saturday show. I chose to do this as a Saturday show. It was my decision. Okay? He loved being on the program, and it seemed to me like he did. All right? But, all right, here's the deal here. If I so want to say this, because I feel that it needs to be said. If he doesn't want to be on, that's fine too. I'm not forcing anybody to be a guest on this program by any point. But I enjoyed having him on here. I enjoyed having him talking to me. It was fun to have him on here. And it was great to have him as a guest the past couple of times he was on. I understand he has to work. He has a job over in Pittsburgh someplace. Get that. Sincerely do. Got to earn some money somewhere, right? But this past number of months, I'm not saying about a month. I'm going to say 2 months, because it really seems like about 2 months ago since he's actually been on. Because I think that I can't remember the last day he was on here. To be quite honest, I don't know. But it had to have been probably in the spring. It's the last time I remember him being on here. Sometime maybe in May. I'd have to go back into my show podcast to find it. Excuse me. It's probably in there somewhere. But, I chose this time slot on a Saturday afternoon as part of him being on here. Now, like I said before, he works, and I understand that situation, really do. But it was to a point where we're just not connecting as far as him being on the show. So I really don't know. I really don't know the reason why he's on there, but if he can't be on this show for a while, I'm just going to suspend it for now on the Saturday afternoon. I'm going to probably keep it on in between, but if it's a choice between doing this show and him not being on, and a choice of doing this show and watching an Iowa Hawkeye football game or any college football game on a Saturday afternoon, my choice is probably going to be that football game. Okay? Because not that I love doing this radio stuff. I enjoy doing the radio station. I love doing the show. But it's to a point where I sit down and think to myself, what is it about me that I don't get audience in at all? And if I'm going to have this kind of stuff on Saturday afternoon, I just don't need to be on. I mean, really. I mean, I got enough material to cover this program, and I can play some music. And I do it sometimes on Saturdays. But here's the thing. I could do that till the cows come home. But if I'm not getting listeners and I'm talking into an empty space, I can do this very same program on 88.9 local. You see? So, I mean, I do this because I love doing this. But it's the same as doing a program on a local 9-foot closed circuit FM signal, which is probably what I'm doing right now. Okay? Very simply. But here it is. That guy just offends me. This Gary what's his face on my Facebook. That's why I kind of clicked out, because it started to tick me off, saying that it's Gary Thomas saying hijacking someone else's post to promote your site is just not cool. Well, first of all, KABL in San Francisco is not my own site. I just promoted that radio station. Too bad. Like I said, I'm going to play some music because I'm starting to get kind of fumed. It's really kind of ticking me off, this guy. And quite frankly, I just need to relax a bit. So I'm going to take a break here and pull up something from my playlist and play a tune. So why don't we throw in a real good one here. I like this song. It takes back to some good memories. Yeah, it does. It really does. Orleans, still the one. GJRB. GJRB Online on Spreaker across America. Great song from 1977, Still the One. And glad you could be with me today. The Gary Russen program, Saturday Extra across America. here on GJRB Online. And thank you for tuning in. And I always enjoy doing this program when we got folks out there listening. And I always enjoy having the program on and having people out there who are tuning in who like the program. You know, there might be some stuff there. And Ed Delgado usually tunes in. We might have a few people. It's just that sometimes I get discouraged, and it kind of bums me out. And then this guy comes on here on this posting on Facebook about a radio station out of Cleveland, Ohio, plays big band music, and stating that you hijacked someone else's post to promote your own site's not cool. I said, first of all, I didn't hijack his site. My friend in Clinton, Iowa told me about this station because I like this music. I can edit the promotion out of it. I also promoted a radio station out of San Francisco that plays that music too. I just don't see why you have a problem with this or me. It's people like you, self-righteous, mean people who irritate me. I don't like it. Too bad. Well, it's like I said before, I really don't see where I did so wrong. There were other people who were promoting other radio stations. One, KZUM. To try that one. Where's that out of? That's another community-funded station. Plays dance band show every Monday from 8 a.m. to 10 a.m. Eastern Time on 89.3. There's a couple of other postings. And really, I just don't, I really don't see why this guy had a problem with me. But, again, you got, like I said before, self-righteous people who irritate me to no end with their bull. It really does irritate me to no end. I got the Gary Russen program Saturday Extra on GJRB Online. I'm going to flip over and I'm going to check and see the Weather Nation, because I wanted to see whether or not they have anything going on about that hurricane. Because we're probably joining in progress if they have something about the hurricane. Because they are watching this storm pretty much very closely down in... It's a Category 4, which... and I don't know that much more about it other than Florida. They said it wasn't going to impact Florida as much as they said it was going to. But for people listening in Florida right now... don't take it lightly. Still stay informed with your local weather, and make sure that you're in safe. But this hurricane is causing some extensive damage. So we're going to see if they're on the air talking about the hurricane on Weather Nation right now. And I'm going to go to that as we do weather on the fives anytime in the hour that ends in 5.
One last
so let's see
the
here.
Eye of Dorian. Watch this. It just sits there on Labor Day, just offshore, lurking, barely moving, maybe a mile or two an hour, and it starts to move parallel to the east coast of Florida.
Okay, so it's moving to the east coast of Florida. Here is what's going on with Weather Nation.
4 inches in dark green, 4 to 6 inches in the yellow area, and then 6+ inches in the orange region for parts of the coastal Carolinas. So, Chelsea, as you can see, we're watching from Port St. Lucie all the way up to the Outer Banks. There's millions and millions of people here in the coastal areas.
Yeah, and as we're talking about tropical and very summertime, end of summertime conditions up in the Northeast, we're talking about frost. We have frost to deal with in parts of Maine. So as we look at the headlines for the Northeast, we're looking at below average conditions. All the heat is locked to the south, and we have, as I mentioned, frost especially in Maine before some rain showers are on the way. So quick look at the severe outlook for the Northeast, from Lexington to Charleston, West Virginia, and into the Appalachia Mountains. There's a threat through the rest of the afternoon hours. A lot of these storms are going to be isolated. Most of them will be moving to the northeast, and that's all out ahead of a warm front that's going to try and warm us back up. But you'll notice by Sunday morning, widespread showers from Maine all the way through the Great Lake region, Lake Ontario, Lake Erie, all the way down to Pittsburgh, with temperatures not really adjusting too much out ahead of the showers will stay pretty steady, but those rain showers eventually will try and warm us up behind that frontal boundary. So temperatures to start the day on Sunday, 48 in Bangor, Maine, 51 Burlington. Check this out, 37 at the north tip of I-95, and we're looking at frost advisories in effect overnight tonight. They'll expire first thing in the morning when the sun rises. But temperatures across the board, mainly in the 70s along the Great Lakes, Pittsburgh 79, Philly 80 degrees, even Boston at 71, yet still Indianapolis all the way down to Lexington, low to mid 80s are in the forecast behind the frontal boundary. Check out Sunday high temperatures in Michigan, though, only 70 degrees in parts of the area like Marquette, 68 a little bit farther to the south. So that'll be very cool with cloudy skies and some showers. Once these rain showers roll in, we'll continue to see drier skies behind them as high pressure builds back in, and that will allow us to warm back up. 80 degrees in Chicago, 84 Indianapolis, and still going to sit in the 60s from Burlington to Bangor, Maine on Monday for Labor Day due to the fact those showers and cloudy skies. We're not looking at a ton of rain, maybe upwards of 2 to 2.5 inches from pretty much, I'd say, Cleveland over to Buffalo up to Burlington, so farther to the north, and maybe some showers through Michigan and the UP of Michigan. So Cleveland, Ohio looks to have an active day on Sunday, then drier skies, and we're back into the 80s. And one more for you, Buffalo, New York. A couple days of wet weather before we go forward in time. But stay with us. We'll continue to track our top weather headlines and bring you the latest information on Hurricane Dorian.
Okay, there you go. Just a little bit clip there. It looks like Dorian is headed out of Florida. It's headed to the northeast, but they're still there. But they're talking frost way up in the northeast there. Wow, up there. I think it was at. We'll take a look at that later on, but some of this area is affected by that possibility. Weather on the 5s, 25 and 45 minutes past the hour on all music shows, 25, 55 talk shows. Anytime in the hour it ends in 5, 15, 25, 35, 45 or 55 minutes past the hour on GJRB Online. And when we have severe storms like this hurricane down in Florida, more weather updates usually start building up a little bit, especially when we're talking about, being all over the United States here on the internet. I like to keep people on top of the storms when there's a major storm such as this Hurricane Dorian. I do like to follow it and keep on top of any information regarding the condition and the status of the storm, so that people know, whoever might be listening out in the ether, the closet listeners of this program, can get the information on this hurricane. I like to keep people informed, you know what I'm saying? Gary Russen program Saturday Extra on GJRB Online, and overcast here in Clinton, Iowa. Rain expected. I'm not sure exactly. We're supposed to get some road. Let me take a look at the weather here locally here in Clinton, Iowa, as I always do during my show, because being we are on the 9-foot closed circuit local signal, I do keep on top of the local weather as well. And right now here in Clinton, Iowa, I'm going to pull this up and go to the main page. According to the, I'm going to go over to the, where is that? Here it is. I want to go according to the, that's not a home station. I want to go to the other one. The one, I don't know why I keep getting this one. Okay, now I have to log in. There's my profile. Okay, I'm going to go to the Clinton one here. The one giving me the weather. The temperature, according to the Mayer Farms at the Eagle Point station, is 72 degrees right now. Feels like 71. We have north winds at 6 miles per hour, gusting to 10. So not too bad. It's overcast right now in the Spreaker Studios, and tomorrow's temperature forecast to be a little bit warmer than today. And we have a barometric pressure of 30.18 inches of mercury. Cloudy right now, as I said earlier. 55 on the dew point. 53% relative humidity. And rain likely, as I said earlier, 60% chance of rain, east-northeast winds, 5 to 10 miles per hour. We have 80% chance of precipitation, around a quarter of an inch of rain. 20% chance tomorrow, considerable cloud this early, and then some decrease in clouds later on the day. 78 degrees for a daytime high, light and variable winds. 10% chance of precip tomorrow night. Clear skies, few passing clouds, low 62, winds light and variable. Moderate on